back again, going live, and Kate Patton, who's Entrepreneur Engagement Manager for the Northeast of England for Tech Nation. So over to you, Kate.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so I'm the Entrepreneur Engagement Manager for Tech Nation for here in the Northeast. And what that really means is my job is to go out and find really ambitious entrepreneurs and founders within the different types of tech that are happening within my ecosystem. And why I wanted to be part of Newcastle Startup Week is because we have just opened for applications our Rising Stars Program 3.0. And Rising Stars probably is one of my favorite growth programs that we do and that we launch. And so I just wanted to tell a little bit about it and just kind of get people interested because I'm on the hunt. So I'm just going to read some points because I can't memorize all of it. The Rising Stars basically is the truly national scale-up competition designed to access the best early stage companies within all the different regions across the UK. And the interns are supported throughout the application process. And they're given training and support at each part of the competition to enable them to compete and to deliver the perfect pitch. Now, because of what's happened obviously with COVID, usually it would be in person and we'd be going through each of the regions and we showcasing and doing the pitches and going all the way through to the very finals. But we'll all be online this year. So the pitches will actually be pre-recorded so that actually in some ways it probably is a good thing. So maybe you can prepare a little bit better and all that. But we do still allow the coaching and we definitely get people really sharp for that. And then it culminates in the top 20 companies being showcased all online and then promoted, through a highly curated audience of investors, which we know is the big bit, what a lot of people want to get in front of, corporates, other influencers, and of course just the wider tech ecosystem in the UK. And the judging panel will then be deliberative of the final 20, selecting 10. And then those will be named as the year's Rising Stars, and there'll be a big celebration event. Of course, we usually like to have that hosted in London, which is quite a fun thing. Again, it's all going to be exclusively online this year, but it's still worth being part of. So the prizes. So pitch training and coaching by our very own Sunderland Software City. You get to meet potential investors throughout the entire series of VC office hours and AMAs. You have an opportunity to showcase your business to the curated audience, as I mentioned. You get to have content and campaigns and loads of national press coverages, which we all know is really what Rising Stars is about. You really need to raise your profile. And then you get inducted into the Rising Stars wider Tech Nation Alumni Network. So once you're in with Tech Nation, you're kind of held under our alumni network, and we always have you there and you have access to all our resources throughout. So we don't just boot you out after everything's done. You can keep accessing like our Founders Network and loads of content and reports and just help. We're always here to help. And then there's going to be some speaking opportunities around leadership and then through the press, and then of course our larger network. So in the Northeast, we've had Canny Payments, we've had Fair Custodian, we've had Equiwatt. So we've had some good, strong companies that have come out. I'm really keen to just keep building more and more and more into my pipeline and obviously getting a lot to apply. So who should apply? You need to be seed to pre-series A, or if you're revenue focused, generating an annual revenue below 1.5 million. You have to be a digital tech business with a product or service to sell. And when we say digital tech, we really mean you're building it yourself. It cannot be a white label, it can't be a consultancy. At least one active client or a pilot that you started. You need to be able to demonstrate some kind of market traction of some sort, obviously HQ'd in the UK. And then you need to be incorporated between 1 to 3 years. Now, just to be very clear about the incorporation date, we've had past winners of Rising Stars that maybe have founded the company much earlier, but they didn't build or start building their product until maybe 1 to 2 to 3 years. So I just want to be very clear that that's not a hard and fast rule, because I know incorporation is really different. So I just want to make that clear. And then the last thing is be able to commit to the key dates within our calendar. So I'm really, and I'm so happy to be part of this, Paul, because I know you're such a long-standing proponent of startups and you've done so much for the ecosystem. So I just really want to keep the traction going and let's keep kind of feeding back and then raising the profile of the Northeast. Let's just do it.
Awesome. So are there going to be regional heats again or not? Are you? Yeah.
So what's really interesting this time around is because we're able to do everything online. First of all, your audience is going to be bigger. We've just noticed that in all the events that we did. We did an Unlocking Global Tech event that we had over 1,000 people come to. So that was pretty amazing. And because we know that we can have a little more flexibility around some of these things being online, we're going to be doing it more of a break. So it's going to be regional and then the semifinals, but within the region, we also want to be showcasing some of the verticals. So if you're doing amazing stuff in applied AI or cyber or fintech, and that is more kind of your thing, you may not progress all the way to the finals, but you'll be showcased as being a hot talent in that respect. So we're definitely doing much more of a hands-on, much more centered around each of the companies. So we really want to make sure that everyone has, again, a chance to shine.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Because well, Tech Nation's always been really great at marketing and promoting all of the businesses get involved in the programs, and not everybody can win. Not everyone can make it through to the final, but even just being shortlisted or getting through to the next round, there's a lot of value in that, because, like you say, the profile and the exposure that you get online and through your channels, but also the media coverage is really immense. So definitely I would encourage anyone that if they fit the criteria to apply. So the deadline, when is the deadline? It's the 20th of October, is that right?
That is it. Thanks. I know in my head, but I know, yeah, thank you very much.
So applications are open now, and they go to technation.io. Well, you can find it there, but it's technation.io/programs/rising-stars.
We also just have drop down on the programs, go to Rising Star, and everything's there. We have videos and testimonials and all that good stuff. And yeah, and one of the other awards that we're doing as well, just as in light of Black Lives Matter, is we really want to highlight companies that are really tackling the diversity and inclusion. So if there's a way that something that you've done, that is going to be a special award for that as well. So yeah, we're really, like I said, we're really taking the time to make this even more special, since it's a 3.0. We learn from every year, kind of how to make, again, like you said, not everyone can win, but there's so many great companies out there that deserve attention. So we want to make sure we give it to them. Yeah.
Cool. And obviously there's a lot more. It's not just Rising Stars. Tech Nation offers a lot more than that. So do you just want to briefly say how you can help or what you're trying to do?
Absolutely. So we call it triple call out. So we have 3 growth programs that we're actually concentrated on. Rising Stars obviously is kind of geared more obviously for the startup community. But the other one we have is called Upscale. So this is for companies that are rapidly growing. So maybe you're doubling your head count, your revenue is, at least 1.5 to 2 million, or you've gotten a really strong Series A raise. You've proven your market traction, but you have really good aspirations to expand regionally and then UK-wide, and of course you want to go international. Something that I am allowed to announce now is we announced at London Tech Week is we are now partnering with the Department of International Trade. So first collaboration of this sort. So what that really means is that we will now have Tech Nationers, our own team, because what our kind of IP is our network, our ability to really network and get the right people and run in front of the right other people. So we're gonna have Tech Nationers on the ground alongside the DIT, who will be taking care of policy and law and all that kind of other stuff that I'm not involved in. But we're starting it's all been signed off. So we're starting our first kind of rollout in Asia Pac. So it's gonna be Tokyo, Sydney, and Singapore. So if you're a company here in the Northeast and you really have aspirations to expand into those markets, but you don't really know how, or you need some hand-holding, you want a soft landing, where to get the right office, right hires locally, that kind of stuff, that's now available for you. So we're really excited about this. I'm actually part of a webinar on the 24th, this Thursday, talking a bit more about that. And I really want to showcase that the Northeast has companies that have that aspiration and everything. And guess what? It's all free. It's all free. So that's another thing I want to say. No equity is ever taken on the Tech Nation side. So if you're a company that gets on one of our growth programs, again, it's all free if you make it on, and it's no equity. We're just there to make sure that you succeed. So Scale Up is the other one we're launching. The third one is called Future 50. So these are the ones that we have spotlighted in the different regions that we think could be possibly the next unicorn. Maybe they've already done the international expansion, but now they're doing something that's just really momentous. And they're really putting stuff, back into the ecosystems as far as jobs and hires and feeding back as far as that's concerned. So keeping us alive is more or less what we need to be doing. Especially with Brexit, the horrible B word looming. we really believe that tech is going to be the backbone that keeps us sustainable.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, looking at the time, I know you have to shoot off. So
yeah, I appreciate it so much.
Yeah,
Right.
really good to talk to you, and we'll have a catch up after this week. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Okay. See you later. Bye.